All right, we're good. Everybody good? Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right. So good afternoon, members of the press. My name is César Espinosa, and I'm Executive Director of Fiel. Buenas tardes a todas las personas de la prensa. Mi nombre es César Espinosa y soy director de Fiel. The way we'll do this is we'll have different speakers. We'll first have the family speak, then we'll have members of the community speak, and then at the end we'll take questions. The family will speak primarily in Spanish, although we do have a representative for the family that will make a statement in English. So la manera que vamos a manejarlos, vamos a hablar primero, después va a hablar la familia. Mayoritariamente van a hablar en español, pero tenemos un miembro de la familia que va a hablar en inglés. We do ask that you hold your questions to the end, so that way we can do it, and then the family will be available for a brief time afterwards for one-on-ones. Vamos a pedirles, por favor, que los miembros de la prensa guarden sus preguntas hasta el final y van a estar la familia disponible por un breve espacio para que hagan entrevistas de uno a uno. So I'll go ahead and make an opening statement. We are very disheartened by the news that no charges will be brought upon Shauna Thompson for the murder of John Hernandez. John Hernandez lost his life right behind me in front of Denny's in cold blood. We are adamant of the fact that we wish that Shauna Thompson would have gone to trial and would have paid for aiding in the murder of John Hernandez. Unfortunately, today we learned that that is not going to be the case. And unfortunately, we learned today that justice is sometimes justice half served. Even though in the case of Terry Thompson, we have gotten a conviction of 25 years, we feel that number one, there could have been more time, and number two, Shauna should have paid for her actions and for her participation in the murder of John Hernandez. At the end of the day, we want to reemphasize that there will never be justice for the Hernandez family because John is not here. Let me repeat that again. There will never be full justice for the Hernandez family because John will never be here again. Meantime, Shauna gets to continue on living her life. So one of the asks that the family had is that if she is going to continue to be free, that she never has a job in a law enforcement agency ever, so that she will not do this to another family. Estamos aquí con la familia de John Hernández. Estamos aquí para enfatizar. Contentos con que no vaya a haber un cargo criminal y no vaya a haber un juicio para Shauna Thompson. Nosotros sabemos que la familia Hernández nunca va a haber justicia para ella porque John no está aquí. John fue asesinado detrás de nosotros a la edad de 24 años en sangre fría por una familia que no tenía que haber tomado la ley en sus propias manos. Es importante que sigamos apoyando a esta familia y es importante que sepamos que la justicia solamente se ha servido a la mitad, en el sentido de que sí se consiguieron 25 años para el señor Terry Thompson, pero nos hubiera gustado que hubiera habido un castigo por la participación de Shauna Thompson en este homicidio que ocurrió detrás de nosotros. Estamos aquí, estamos para apoyar a la familia, pero a la misma vez entendemos que la familia quiere cerrar este capítulo tan oscuro en sus vidas y después de hoy piden que se les deje procesar todo lo que ha pasado y piden que ya privacidad para que ellos puedan continuar sus vidas. So after today, they're asking for them to be able to mourn their loss once again, and this now loss. And after today, they have asked that their privacy be respected so that they can now close this very dark chapter in their lives. So our first speaker will be Mr. Ignacio Hernandez, and he'll give his reaction of the news they hear today. So nuestro primer orador va a ser Ignacio Hernández y él va a dar su reacción a lo que ocurrió hoy.
Hola, mi nombre es Ignacio Hernández. Pues lo que nos ocurrió hoy pues nos ha caído como un balde de agua. Nosotros queríamos que se hiciera justicia también con la señora, pero pues, ¿qué podemos hacer? La justicia ya dice que no tiene pruebas para esto y pues tenemos que hacer lo que la justicia nos dice. Nos sentimos mal, pero pues tenemos que aguantar nuestro dolor. No sé, gracias por todo su apoyo. Gracias porque nos han apoyado tanto tiempo. Y esperamos que no suceda otra vez esto, que que nos pasó a nosotros, porque ella va a andar libre. Y siendo oficial no detuvo a su marido y a lo mejor al rato se encuentra otro marido y lo vuelven a hacer. Ojalá que, pues, que no suceda a otra familia como a nosotros. Gracias a todos por ayudarnos.
We'll now have Melissa, John's cousin, come up and make a statement in English.
Hi, my name's Melissa Hernandez. I was John's cousin. The news that we received today was very hard for all of us. It was such a low blow. We really wanted to get justice, continue to get justice for John like we had done previously. We were really hoping that the justice system was going to be on our side and help us get what John deserved. We just want to thank everybody for always being there with us, always supporting us through these rough couple, I guess now, years. It just hit us out of nowhere. We really thought that we were going to continue with the case and we were going to be able to continue to fight for John and for the justice that he deserves. We wanted Shauna to have to pay for what she did because she was there. The video shows where she was there clearly helping her husband. She was pinning him down. She never let go of him. So it's such a low blow for everyone. And we just don't want her to be free and try to get a job again as a cop, because someone like that who's supposed to protect us and serve us should not have helped her husband do such a horrible thing. Like I said, we just want to thank everybody for always being there for us and supporting us through everything. Thank you.
We also want to make note of the fact that the family in the end wants closure, and it would have been very tough after 2 years of having to gone through 2 trials, having them go through another trial that could probably ended up in a no judgment or in a mistrial or in a not guilty. Would have been very painful for them, and that's something that we have been discussing with them for the last 24 hours. Otra de las cosas que queremos recalcar es que la familia ya ha pasado este proceso múltiples veces, y otras cosas que hemos hablado con ellos es que pasar esto una tercera vez hubiera sido de nuevo otra vez traumatizante para ellos, para tener que lidiar con eso. So now we'll have Attorney Carlos Doroteo explain briefly some of the legal aspects of this, so that we can all understand a little bit better. So Carlos.
Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Doroteo, and so the family and us met with First District Attorney Tom Berg, and so he's the one that called into his office, and he said to us that after 2 trials, after reading all the evidence, and after having consulted with several attorneys, including attorneys within the Civil Rights Division of the Harris County District Attorney's Office, that it was his view that there was not sufficient evidence on the question on intent, on whether Shauna Thompson had the intent to commit bodily injury or to kill John Hernandez. And so he explained to us that the evidence was circumstantial evidence did not exist based on the experts that he consulted with. And so it's something that we asked him, Mr. Berg, is there another lesser charge that you could have filed against Shauna Thompson? And his answer was, based on the evidence, the answer again is no. And so this does not mean that the family accepts that Ms. Thompson is not culpable. In fact, they believe that she is culpable. It's just that Mr. Berg explained to us that as a Harris County District Attorney, it is his ethical obligation to not be able to take a case to the jury where he cannot prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And so he said, I do not believe I can win this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And so as Mr. Espinosa explained, one of the things that came to mind is if you don't have evidence, that you would have a trial and the judge would go ahead and just toss it out for lack of evidence. And once again, the family does not believe that Ms. Thompson is not culpable, but they've accepted the decision of the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Do you agree with that assessment?
At this family in their decision to accept that, the Harris County District Attorney's decision.
But as an attorney, do you agree with that characterization by the prosecutor?
You know, I think in a situation like this, we put faith in the Harris County District Attorney's Office to get a conviction for John Hernandez, and they're able to get one for Terry Thompson. And so considering that they have, they've actually prosecuted the case, I think in some cases it requires some trust and faith in the office. And I think they've earned it.
Sir, I guess the question is, what exactly did they kind of have? Exactly did they kind of have a hunch that things were going in the direction that you hoped they would?
That is a question for the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
And I guess one other thing is, for you all to come to this decision and to agree with what they were saying, which is the thought of having to go through trial again and the possibility of a mistrial and just kind of everything that happened before happen again, is that a concern?
I think that's a question for the family, not for me.
All right, we'll now have different members of the community speak. We want to bring up Cherie Dorr, who's been a supporter of the Hernandez family since the beginning, since this all took place 2 years ago. No, go ahead. Because okay, sorry. They just wanted a quick translation.
First assistant. Okay. So, estoy aquí porque ayer tuvimos una junta con la familia y con nosotros, con el primer asistente, Tom Berg, del Harris County District Attorney's Office, y lo que él nos contó es que después de dos trials y también que revisaron la evidencia en el caso y que consultó con muchos abogados, incluyendo la División de Derechos Civiles en la oficina del Harris County District Attorney's Office, que era la opinión de los abogados que no había suficiente evidencia para tomar este caso a un jurado, porque no había evidencia en la cuestión del intento de Shauna Thompson en cometer en el asesinato de John Hernández. Entonces, los explicó que este era una cosa que habían revisado los abogados, y entonces en decidir esta cuestión le preguntamos a Mr. Berg, al señor Berg, si había otros cargos que eran posibles contra Shauna Thompson, y dijo que en revisando toda la evidencia, que la respuesta era no, que no había otros cargos que podían tomar contra ella. ¿Cómo lo ven? ¿Creen que podían haber otros cargos? Pues como lo que la respuesta es que la familia ha aceptado la decisión de la oficina, y también lo que hemos visto con la oficina es que ellos han honrado su palabra en llevar este caso al jurado contra Terry Thompson y obtener un veredicto, y en este caso vamos a tener fe en ellos, en su decisión también. Sí.
Just real quick, we do want to emphasize that that this case is not completely closed. If there were to be evidence in the future of any wrongdoing, the case could be reopened and charges could be refiled. So for the same reason, we ask that if anybody has any new piece of evidence or something that they may not have come forward with, to come forward with it immediately to see in the near future or in the future with this case can be reopened. Otra de las cosas que queremos enfatizar también es que se habló de la posibilidad de que si hay evidencia que no se ha tomado en consideración hasta este momento, entonces se le pide al público que venga con esa evidencia para que en el futuro próximo o en un futuro más largo plazo se pueda reabrir este caso si es que hay evidencia nueva. So now we'll have Cherie Dorr come up and speak.
Hi, my name is Cherie Dorr, Sheredore, community activist here in Houston. I am actually speaking on behalf of the public and their outrage in regards to these charges that are being dropped. As you guys can see, it's cold. We got rain coming down a little bit because this is a sad day. It's a sad day for a family that feels defeated, and they shouldn't be made to feel this way. Why? Because We have a district attorney, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys about this. We have a district attorney that promised us before she got elected she was going to hold police officers accountable in Houston. And we're not seeing that. The night that John was behind me begging for his life, tapping out with his one hand, he had one hand left. Shauna took that from him. In Texas, we have something called a law of parties. If I'm in a vehicle as the escape driver and somebody goes in and robs somebody and kills somebody, I'm going to get charged with murder too. Why does this not apply for the police department? So the public is definitely outraged just by what we're hearing through social media, calls, texts, and so on and so forth. The public sends their complete and utter support for the Hernandez family, but they continue to cry, why is it that our district attorney is not holding police officers accountable? We got this on video. I don't know what happened with the district attorney's office or why they feel like they didn't have enough evidence. However, I want to tell the family that they are not alone in this case. We stand with them still. Nearly 2 years later, we're standing with them. We're family with them now. And we will continue to seek justice for John Hernandez one way or another. This is long from over with. We'll close the chapter and let the family mourn and move forward from here. But in John's name, we've got to make sure that cops are held accountable no matter what the cost is. If you murder somebody, manslaughter, criminal neglect, whatever the case might be, they need to be held accountable, period. That's it. Thank you.
We'll now have Janie Torres come up and speak. She's sister of Joe Campos Torres. Did you want to? Are you okay? Or?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for coming out today. They are my family now. They're in my shoes. So we know what's going on. We know how we feel. I never expected this decision today. I didn't expect it, not one bit. We've come so far the past years, just a bit, but for the charges to be dropped completely, it's painful. It's painful. It's repeating what I went through over. It's no justice for Johnny. His little girl won't have her dad, won't have her father. I feel in my heart very strongly, like many others, Shauna had a responsibility that day. She chose not to do what was right. She chose to hold Johnny's arm down, his hand down. There was a lot of things she could have done that day to save his life, and she chose not to. But for the charges to be dropped, I wouldn't wish this feeling on anyone at all, whatsoever. They may close the chapter of this part of their life, but their heart will forever be torn. I was 10 years old at the time, and I'm here today. My heart is still torn up. I ache for the next family. I ache for this family. I ache for the families in the past. We shouldn't be here for this. No family should be here for this. And for the justice system to let this family down, it's just bringing them more pain. They have no choice but to still live on. They have no choice. Shauna had a choice. She should pay for what she's done. She's literally ripped a family apart. A little baby girl. I ache for them. I ache for families in this situation. This is not right. This is just another slap in our face. Just another one. Who's next? Thank you.
At this moment, we want to take a moment to thank the Hernandez family for their courage and for their strength. Throughout this, they have shown dynamic courage and strength, and we can't even imagine what they have gone through. So, queremos tomar este momento para agradecerles a ustedes por su fuerza y su valentía en todo este proceso. Sabemos que no ha sido un proceso fácil, pero queremos saber que estamos con ustedes. We want them to know that we know that this has not been an easy ordeal, but we are happy to have been here with you to support you. By the same token, we want this to be a message to the community. We want them to serve as a beacon of light and hope so that other people, unfortunately, who may go through these situations can come forward and can fight for justice just as hard as the Hernandez family did. So queremos también que ellos sirvan como una luz, como un rayo de luz para otras personas que desafortunadamente van a pasar por situaciones iguales y que se sirva como ejemplo para saber cómo es que hay que luchar con fuerza por la justicia para sus familiares. So at this time, we'll go ahead and take questions, if there's questions from the press. So en este momento vamos a tomar preguntas, si hay preguntas para cualquier persona que habló. Aquí está la mamá. Pónganse acá.
Ustedes dicen que dentro de todo confesar aceptan esto. Sin embargo, tengo una duda. ¿Confían en la justicia luego que haya pasado esto?
Pues nos dejaron a medias. Tenemos que aceptar esto porque ya ellos dicen que no hay pruebas suficientes, pero pues nosotros queríamos verla encerrada, que pagara lo que hizo. Conforme no nos gusta nada esto, pero ¿qué podemos hacer si ellos son los que agarran las pruebas y dicen que no hay?
¿Siempre vivirán con la duda que ese día se pudo haber hecho algo más?
Sí, siempre. Ella era policía y ella tenía que haber evitado la muerte, no ayudar a causarla. Para nosotros es culpable, pero pues para ellos dicen que no. Sí.
¿Usted, señora María, usted piensa que ella es culpable?
Sí, son culpables. Es culpable.
¿Usted qué cree que ella debió hacer o no hacer ese día?
Quitarlo de arriba de mi hijo. Como policía que era.
Ahora, señora María, si esto no avanza, ella va a quedar...
Ella va a quedar libre.
¿Usted
De seguro.
madre, cómo se siente ante eso?
Pues no es justo. No es justo.
¿Usted cree que ella va a pagar esto de alguna manera?
Quiero que pague.
¿Cómo cree que lo puede pagar?
Pues que le pase algo igual que a nosotros.
Solamente Dios es el único que va a hacer justicia. Solamente Dios. Si la ley de aquí nos falla, la de Dios no nos va a fallar. Allá todos vamos a pagar lo que hayamos hecho aquí en la tierra.
When it comes to intent, prosecutors say that what the video doesn't show is that she performed CPR, she was trying to help. Does that justify in any way her, I guess, reaction or action during the initial moments of holding his hand down and then trying to help? Because they're using that as a way of saying that she didn't mean to get murdered, I guess in this case.
Sí le dio CPR, pero después de que lo mató, le ayudó a matarlo. Eso sí entendemos, pero no podemos quedar.
¿Hubiera sido más doloroso para ustedes ir a un juicio y que terminara no
En nada, sí. También.
Pero nos hubiera gustado ir al juicio.
¿Preferían eso, ir a juicio y que la hubieran hallado no culpable?
Cuando menos le habíamos hecho la lucha a que saliera culpable. O sea, nosotros por lucha, nosotros queremos luchar hasta el final, pero ahorita nos están cortando las alas, ya no nos dejan luchar.
Señora María, ¿usted hubiese querido que por lo menos se intentara?
Pues sí. Eso queremos, pero...
All right.
Are there any more questions? ¿Hay alguna otra pregunta que tengan? La familia sí está tomando recursos de demandas civiles, pero es otro caso aparte. El criminal es uno caso y el civil es otro caso. Igual como que recalqué anteriormente, si hay unas pruebas que salen después, se pueden salir y no hay estatus de limitación, o sea que significa que se pueden salir en 5 años, en 10 años, en 20 años, puede regresar esto a la luz. So real quickly, the family is continuing their civil lawsuit against the Thompson family, and there's no statute of limitation for proofs. So it could be next week, it could be next month, next year, 5 years from now, that new evidence can come up and charges can be filed again. And we're hoping that if there's somebody that is out there with evidence, that they come forward so that this family can receive full justice, not half justice. So sí, esperamos que si hay alguien que tenga algo nuevo, una evidencia nueva, que venga y que la diga, porque queremos que haya justicia completa, no justicia a medias para la familia Hernández. So it is starting. So we'll go ahead and conclude here. Thank you so much for being here, and to the Hernandez family, once again, and forever you're not alone. So, de nuevo, gracias por estar aquí, y para la familia Hernández, de nuevo, no están solos. Muchas gracias. Que lo que no queremos que sea contratado.
Oh, no queremos que sea contratada, ni aquí ni en China. Pero no le quitaron nada. Pues que no, pues no sabe.
No arrimándole.
No arrimarnos. Pero no puede andar libre ella.
Eso es lo que no queremos que
No por nosotros, por toda la gente.
Y la petición a las diferentes unidades de policía que existen alrededor de Texas y alrededor de todo el país, la familia está pidiendo que no se le contrate nunca más como oficial de la ley. So the family is also once again petitioning so that no law enforcement agency, either in the Harris County, the state of Texas, or around the nation, will ever hire Shauna Thompson as a peace officer ever again. Thank you. Gracias. Oh, okay.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Norma Ruiz, yo soy miembro de la comunidad, conocí a la familia Hernández por medio de este caso y yo estoy muy molesta por esta decisión. En cuanto yo escuché esta noticia, estoy muy enojada, estoy muy desanimada en cuestión de la justicia. Estoy viendo que no hay justicia, estoy viendo que hay mucha protección para los policías, están aquí diciendo que ellos pueden matar, pueden hacer el daño que ellos quieran y son protegidos por la misma ley, y eso no es justo. Estoy muy enojada por eso. Si yo fuera la madre de John, yo no paro hasta aquí. Yo hago la ley hasta que encierren a esa señora. Y toda la gente que estamos aquí estamos dispuestos a seguir haciendo marchas y hacer cosas. Ustedes no están solos. Si ustedes quieren seguir luchando, esa mujer puede llegar a la cárcel, porque ella es una cómplice. Desde el hecho que ella estuvo en el momento del asesinato agarrándole la mano a John, y ella es una cómplice. Y ella tiene que pagar por esto. Y no es justo que la ley la esté protegiendo. Estoy muy enojada con la ley por esta situación. Muchas gracias.
We'll go ahead and conclude. Thank you very much. Vamos a concluir. Gracias.